Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be walking you through on how to cut a tote bag. Please kindly help me like this video, and if this is your first time on my channel, kindly help me subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop amazing content like this one. Thank you. So for this tote bag, I'll be using two different kinds of fabric to make it. So I'll be using a black crepe and also I'll be using an Ankara fabric. So the Ankara fabric will be the one I'll be using in designing the bag. So I'll just put the Ankara fabric aside and then start with the black fabric. I've gone ahead to cut out the black fabric already, as you can see, and it's cut on fold. So for the length of this bag, I'll be using 16.5 inches for the length of the bag. So I added 1.5 inches, which is for the sewing allowance of the upper parts. So that gave me 16.5 inches. So for the width, I used 15 inches. So it's supposed to be 14 inches. So I added extra 1 inches for the sewing allowance of the both sides. So that will be half inches I'll be using in holding the side like that. So the next thing I'll be doing is to open up the fabric. So I'll be folding the tip of the bag. So I'll first fold half inches. I'll fold half inches in like that. Then I'll fold another 1 inches. I added 1.5 inches for the sewing allowance. So that's the reason why I first folded half inches and then fold 1 inches. So I'll just measure it like that to be sure it's accurate. So I'll just use my pin to pin it down, then I'll pin it all the way down to the tip of the fabric, and then I'll be doing the same thing for the other side of the fabric. I'll fold half inches in first and then I'll fold 1 inches in. So I'll just take it to the machine to sew. This is it after sewing it. So I'll just remeasure it for you guys to see that it's up to 1 inches. So can you see it's exactly 1 inches I folded in all the way to the tip of the fabric. So the next thing I'll be doing, I'll be putting the black fabric aside and then take the Ankara fabric I want to use in designing the bag. So for the design I want to use on the bag, so I'll be cutting 3 square fabric. So for the measurement of the square, I'll be using 5 by 5. So 5 inches for the length of the square and also 5 inches for the width of the square. So I'll just measure it like that and then cut it out. The square is cut on fold, so I'll just open the middle part. So I'll just take one of it to cut out another one, because this is just 2. So I'll take one of it to cut out another one to make it 3. After cutting it out, then the remaining Ankara fabric I'll fold it aside and then pick up my black fabric. So I'll just arrange it like this. Can you see that the fabric is still on fold? So I'll just arrange it well so I'll be able to arrange the patterns on it. Let me show you how I want the pattern to be arranged on it. So 2 will be on the upper side and 1 will be at the middle of it like this. So I'll just remove that first one. So from the side of my fabric, I'll measure 1.5 inches in and then I'll use my chalk to mark it. So that'll be the place I'll be placing the Ankara fabric on. So from the upper parts, I'll measure 2.5 inches. I've already added sewing allowance to the fabric already, to the Ankara fabric already. It's supposed to be 4 inches. So I added 1 inches extra for the sewing allowance. So I'll just fold it like that. I'll fold half inches like that and then use my pin to hold it. You make sure that the pin didn't touch the other part of the fabric. So I'll just hold it like that. So I'll fold the upper part of it too and then use my pin to hold it down. So I'll do the same thing all for everything round. I'll fold half inches round and then use my pin to hold it. So I'll be doing exactly the same thing on the other side, and then I'll take it to the machine to sew. This is it after sewing it. So it came out nice. So the next thing is to be placing the third one at the middle part. So from the tip of the fabric, I'll measure 1.5 inches up. So that 1.5 inches will be the starting point of where I'll be placing the Ankara fabric on. So I'll just place it on it like that, and then I'll fold it in just as I folded the first part. I'll fold it in and then use my pin to hold it down. So while pinning it down, you have to be very careful so it won't touch the other side of the fabric. So I'll just pin it down like that. So I'll be folding half inches all the way around. So I'll be using my pin to hold it like that. After pinning it like that, I'll take it to the machine to sew. So this is it after sewing it. So the next thing will be sewing the sides of the bag. So we'll be using half inches. You know I added 1 inches for the sewing allowance. So we'll be using half inches to hold the side part of it. And then I'll take it to the machine to sew. This is it after sewing it. So I'll just flip it to the other side. Can you see how nice it is? I'm so sorry, I'm supposed to iron, but at the time I was doing this video there was no light, so I had to do it this way. The next thing to do is to cut the end of the tote bag. So I've gone ahead to cut it. So for the length of this, and I used length 29 inches, and for the width I used 4 inches. It's the same measurement I used for the other end of the bag too. So if I want to sew it, I'll just fold it in total like this and then use half inches to sew it. So I'll be doing the same thing for the other hand too, and then take it to the machine to sew. So this is it after sewing it. So the next thing we'll be doing is to attach it to the bag. So I'll just put it aside and then pick up the bag. So from the side of the bag, I'll measure 4 inches in. From the side like this, I'll measure 4 inches and then use my chalk to chalk it down. So from that point there, I'll pick one of the rope. So from that point, I'll just put it like that. I'll put it under it like this and then use my pin to hold it down. And also from the other side of the bag too, I'll measure 4 inches in. So from that 4 inches, I'll also do the same thing and then pin it down. After doing the front part, I'll be flipping it to the back. So I'll be doing the same thing for the back too. I'll measure 4 inches from the side of the bag and then I'll mark it like this and then pick up the other rope and then place it under the fabric like this. Use my pin to hold it down. So I'll be doing the same thing at the other side too. I'll measure 4 inches in. So from the 4 inches, I'll be doing the same thing. So I'll pin the hand to the fabric too, like this. So after that, I'll just take it to the machine to sew. And this is it after sewing it. It came out very nice. It's looking so nice. And here we've come to the end of this tutorial. Kindly help me like this video, help me subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and if you have any question concerning this tutorial, you can ask me in the comment section and I'll answer you. Thanks for always watching my video. Thanks for the support. God will bless every one of you. I love you guys. Thank you. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.